hello, and we're live. Let's go. So, we're gonna go continue today on making this drawbridge that we were doing the other day, and gonna see how far we can get today. It's a Sunday, so it's a pretty relaxed day. Let's say that we will not make it too long today, but at least I want to try have something done today. Because, yeah, I always dislike it when I cannot work on my game. Must be familiar to some people who also make games, I guess. So you really want to do something. So let's see what we can do today. Okay, I want to have a bit of a feel of how much I want this to go. I think about this thick, most likely. So from here to more or less, yeah, here looks nice. Maybe one higher. No, that is better. I think that looks nice. So Team Pixel 2, 3. I'm gonna have to see if this looks nice. I don't know yet. I'm not entirely convinced, but that's also a little bit of the process. You have to try and see if it works. This one, 2, 7, 8, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then go 1, 2, 3. Somehow I'm not sure if that's the same. Has to be, I guess. Yeah, it must be. Okay. There we go. So, hello if you're watching. Always nice to have somebody viewing. Um, yeah, let's see what we're gonna make of it today. If you're here, don't forget to say hi. I always like to have some interaction. It's always nicer than just being here of my own. So, yeah, if you're here, always nice to know. For those who are maybe first time viewers, I'm trying to recreate an Amsterdam drawbridge um, for my game. I'll zoom out a little bit so you have a look. This is basically what I want it to look like. Not completely yet. More details will have to go in, but this bridge is gonna open up in the game. So basically, the part where you see here, it will open up, and we'll have this on the other side as well. So I have to stretch this and push that to the other side, basically. But this is going to be able to open up, and that's where the player will first learn to jump in the game. So yeah, that's always an exciting moment. You have a part of your mechanic that you want them to learn, so it better look good, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So me and pixel art is still not the greatest. I'm learning and I'm learning on the go. So if it's not perfect or you know a better way, don't hesitate to tell me. I love to learn. I mean, I basically have a backlog of studies to do. You don't want to know. It's long. It's really long. Um, I try to study for my work, but also for this kind of thing, like all the time. And yeah, it's sometimes more than I can even handle. So um, yeah, I guess you could say I'm really quite a study fanatic or something. See, need a bit of a more grayish shadow here. It's not as dark as the other one. I want it to just be coming from the light. This is really dark because it's more in the back. It's coming more from the front. I would be having some shadow on the bottom of these things so that you can at least see that there's a shadow there. Um, I'm going to experiment a bit with colors just to see how it looks. This might be too dark. That's too dark. I want a lighter shadow. Let me go there. That should be pretty good. Yes, I'm liking this. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, that I always forget. So if you ever see me do that, you can laugh. I know it's funny. Keep doing that. I just click on the wrong thing, and then for some reason this is not aligned. It should be. Why is that not aligned? Oh well, I guess I can do this the hard way. I'd expect it to line up though. Maybe that one is. Why does this not line up? That's completely wrong. I don't understand that. Hmm. I'll do it the hard way. I don't care. All I care about is that I actually have what I want. Hmm. So not nice, by the way. Should be a double line. I did everything with double lines. Hmm. Well, let's fill this up anyway. Just the single lines for now and see what it looks like. If I need to double it, I will double it. I need to learn some more of the tricks of A Sprite, that's for sure. Because I know this can be done easier. Well, once I figured it out, I will laugh at this most likely and think of myself as a dumb idiot that I didn't do that yet. Anyway, so far, I'm okay. Now, this is tricky because now I cannot see basically where the shadow would be. Gonna wing it because that color is basically the same, of course. So there we go. Probably I didn't do this properly and that's why it's not aligning. Because the top I created with just a single line, but I didn't do that for the bottom because I didn't know where to go yet. I basically made it longer and longer and longer. I'm not sure that is looking like I want it to, but hey, who knows? I'm just learning this stuff, you know? Is what you get when you pixel art artist cannot dedicate more time, then you have to learn to do this stuff yourself. And yeah, like I said, I know probably easier ways to do this, but I don't know what those are. So basically, this needs to be a shadow for the beam, and sometimes it's hard to see when you're just on a standard background if this is thick enough. But I think I will do a second line just to make it a little nicer to look at. Hey, how's money? You found it on solo development. Nice, nice. Half Mune, half or Mune. Oh, don't worry. Uh, you're fine. I mean, I'm Dutch. I try to do my best in my English, and yeah, basically, everybody's welcome. And if your English is not perfect, what is your primary language? Maybe I can understand that too. I mean, I speak Dutch, I speak Spanish, I speak German. Might be that I know your language too, or I can try. Basically, all I want is for people to feel welcome, and because everybody is just a regular stream. I always have to talk a little soft because my kids are sleeping a room below me. Um, and yeah, you see me as I am because there's a mess behind me. Basically, I have to work in my attic, and I still need to uh, make this more look like a studio, which I at the moment cannot afford. And I've told myself I will not put any money in this until this makes money on its own. So uh, yeah, if I get the first level done and I can make a Kickstarter campaign, for example, or maybe once I get a donation thing in this stream, and people are starting to donate, I can maybe look into putting some money into this, get a better camera, uh, maybe set up everything a little bit better, uh, better microphone because now you hear me click a lot. I know the sensitivity of my headphones is high, but it should not be too high. Ah, you're German. Ich spreche auch Deutsch, aber nicht so gut als English. So for people who didn't understand that, I also speak German. Yeah, you're basically my neighbor. It's always nice to have languages that you know. And I'm from the coastal area of the Netherlands, so if you didn't speak German, you basically were screwed over because my village where I used to live, it was Germany in summer. There were more Germans there than Dutch. So you better learn the language because they would even speak to me in German at the supermarket where I would come every day. Still, they speak to you in German. It's a little strange, of course, but yeah, it's an automatic thing. You know, they everybody comes there and everybody speaks German. So yeah, then you better switch the language of the people who work there to German. So yeah, you can imagine they will speak to me in German as well. A Gandalf feeling. You're gonna have to explain that a little bit. Like, I'm a wizard because I'm never late, nor am I early. Wizard always arrives exactly when he means to. I guess now my inner nerd came out to show you guys that I know Lord of the Rings by heart. And this is not high enough, I would say. This is also in this part. No, it's not. That's what I figured. I have to go in this part to because for me it's not high enough. I just figured out I don't like it. It's oh, there you go. That's how much of a wizard I am, man. I keep forgetting to press the button, and then I fill the entire space up instead of just a little bit. So yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning. So I always tell people, please bear with me. I'm not perfect, um, but I'm hoping to get better. And if I am, then yeah, sure, that's a very nice thing, and I will be very happy. Uh, yeah, I'm just an ordinary guy learning how to do pixel art for his game. Um, and if you have no idea yet what my game is about, I'm glad to tell you that's also something I love to do. My game is about my daughter. Oh, thank you. I've been. It reminds you of Gandalf, right? Nice. I've heard somebody tell me that my voice reminds them of Bob Ross, which I think is also a big compliment. It's very soothing. I would always love to watch Bob Ross talk about his happy little trees here, happy little bushes there. Yeah, that was always very nice to watch. So for me, this is a huge compliment, obviously. And yeah, I'm hoping that I could do it justice. I will do my best. That's basically all I can say. Yeah, sure. You can ask what my game is about. This game is called Gaia that I'm making. Gaia is my daughter. My daughter is 4.5 years old, almost 5 at the moment. Um, and well, it's based on Greek mythology, basically. She's Mother Earth. Um, so I decided to make a game about my daughter who stumbles upon a portal that is being brought up by the goddess Gaia herself. Um, and stubborn as she is, she doesn't listen to her dad. Hey, here I am. And just walks away too far while I'm trying to keep my son, her little brother, um, with me, and he's not as fast as she is. So I cannot follow her, and she just steps through the portal and ends up in the world of Greek mythology. And in the world of Greek mythology, the gods are making a mess basically of the world. Very recognizable, probably, because our world leaders that we know right now, they're doing exactly the same. And it's a little bit of a hint. Um, so, yeah, basically, Gaia, my daughter, has to help the goddess Gaia because she's not allowed to fight the gods herself. So she's asked by Gaia, the goddess, to basically fight her battles and make the gods see their errors of their ways and fix the world, basically. And when she finally will do that, she will go back, of course, to the world where she used to live, but not before actually meeting with the goddess Gaia herself. That's it in a nutshell. Of course, there's a lot more to it, and I have a lot of things that I still need to work out. But my basic goals at the moment are to make a first level set in Amsterdam, to make it very recognizable that we live in the Netherlands. I want it to be very personal, so that's one of my goals. Um, and I want to make this first level also accessible for people with disabilities. So blind people, but also people who can press only one button, or people who cannot hear. It should be fun to play for basically every demographic that you have. If I can get that done, and if I feel comfortable with what it looks like, how it feels, then I will start my Kickstarter campaign and try to get money to make the rest of the game. Hopefully, with somebody who actually does the pixel art for me, because I'm a programmer and pixel art still comes very slowly for me. So there you go. That's Hey, May Sevenary. How am I supposed to pronounce your name? Please enlighten me before I say it wrong. Metari. Is that the way you pronounce it? Interesting name, by the way. I don't think I've seen that one before. Nice of you to join us. Uh, Tar like jar, but tea. Metari. Metari. Okay. Well, if I pronounce it wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best here. Is this the first time you're here? I really hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm trying to create a space here with a cool vibe, a soft vibe. I don't try to be better than I am. I am learning everything as I go. So um, it may be for some people not good enough yet. That's fine. I'm not perfect, um, but I'm trying to make a first level or a game that's about my daughter that I just explained to have that. Yeah, should become very personal. And since we're living in the Netherlands, I want it to look like the Netherlands. I can show you a little bit of another thing that I made the other day. That's my bakery. It's still not done because I need to change it a little bit. It's going to be a 2D platformer, and I made this bakery, and I was quite happy then when I did it, because it's my first time doing pixel art. I'm not the greatest artist in the world, so I'm learning. But when I looked at it and then I tried to import it into Unity, and I immediately saw that this is too much going forward. By the way, I'm not zoomed in properly, so now you cannot see the proper look. So this is what it's supposed to look like. But what I'm not happy with at the moment is that now it looks more like a top-down game, and it needs to be frontal, front-facing. So at the moment, I know that I have to do something about that, but I still wanted to make my drawbridge, which is one of my my goals, and I have another very huge thing that I want to do a little later, which is to make the the Rijksmuseum in pixel art, which is, and of course, amazingly big undertaking for me because yeah, the Rijksmuseum is huge. And I'm thinking it's not in balance at the moment, so this needs to be shorter, most likely still, um, to look good. Or it needs to be longer on this end, but that will not come out well with the bridge. So I'm gonna be playing around with this a little bit. Anyway, it's nice of you guys to join me. Um, I hope you will find it interesting or at least enjoyable. Because that's basically the entire goal of this stream, to have people enjoy it, hopefully create some interest. Uh, yeah, that is something that I want in the end. At the moment, there's no money for it. Basically, I wish I would say I have it, but I had somebody doing my pixel art before. He created the character, as you can see in the left bottom corner. That's my Gaia, my daughter, at least based on my daughter, of course. Um, and I have some basic animations for her, but all the rest I now have to do basically myself because he didn't have the time anymore to do it. He's a student and he just graduated, starting his own business, and yeah, didn't have any more time. But at the moment, yeah, I'm just a poor guy. I'm paying for the my wife, my kids. I make the only money that there is. I'm doing this next to my full-time job, so it doesn't go very fast. But yeah, of course, there's at the moment no budget. Um, I'm learning, and I think I have a very good idea of what I want, and I have a pretty set goal that I have. Like the first level needs to be available soon. Needs to look like Amsterdam, and it actually needs to have um, options for the people with disabilities to also be able to play the game. That is my main goal. If I have that as a first level, I'm thinking about setting up a Kickstarter campaign. And if can do that, hopefully I can get some funding going, get some better equipment, also for streaming, but also for setting up the game. Um, yeah, then I can probably start to think of hiring people to do pixel art because yeah, I'm not the greatest. I'm learning, and if there's people who know Sprite better than me, please don't hesitate to tell me what I'm doing stupid. Because yeah, I am learning, but I am also not afraid to learn. I love learning, and I do it usually in my job also. Um, so yeah, there's that. And I have to cut this a little bit because I need to have it straight again in the same way. So this was one. So yeah, and like I said, I know for sure that there must be easier ways to do what I'm doing. Um, but as long as it in the end looks like I want it to, then I'm still fine with it. That's what you get when you have to do it yourself if you're not used to doing that yourself. So yeah, like you say, you're an artist, but I'm not. seen in 3D. Um, yeah, I don't know if that helps. I'm making a 2D pixel art game, so I've always thought that you should do that in 2D. If you say that making it in 3D before starting 2D painting helps you, I have no clue. I've never done that like that. Like I said, I'm not an artist. I usually don't paint anything. Um, I used to draw, but that's 25 years ago. I drew portraits basically, so I've never thought of making things like the Rijksmuseum in pixel art or making a drawbridge in pixel art. So there's a lot of things that are hard for me. Um, okay, that's very cool, Mitari. Yeah, I mean, you were first time here, right, Mitari, or not? How did you find me? I mean, I appreciate having people help me. I mean, I just want to make this game. I really have an ambitious plan in mind. I told a few people about that. You do that because of social anxiety. Well, I mean, for me, this was scary at first too. I'm not a streamer. I've never streamed in my life. I just hope that people enjoy what I do. Um, and from the first few times that I streamed, now I got told that um, I'm a very pleasant voice to listen to. I've been compared now to Bob Ross, but also just to Gandalf. Thank you, Elf. That was very nice. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to make a game that um, has some social things in it, like the world is being messed up basically now by our world leaders. In my game, it will be the gods, but it's basically a link to the world leaders. uh, and to make a nice game that my daughter would also like. She doesn't have to be able to play it. I mean, she's only 5 years old, almost, but something that she would stand behind. So the other day, she saw me make a little house in pixel art, and she immediately started telling me like, "Okay, but flowers here need to be this color. This needs to be that color." I was so cute, and I was like, "Yes, well, it's a game about her. She should have a say in it. No, that is logical. I mean, why would it not be?" So yeah, I mean, anybody is welcome. I would say. So if you want to help me, Tari, you're definitely welcome to do so. Please contact me after. Maybe follow me also, so we can keep in touch. Um, I'm on Discord. I'm on a lot of things on Twitter. There's always ways to get to me. So yeah, sure, I would appreciate it. Continue a little bit, otherwise I get nothing done today. Because, for example, in Ace Sprite, I know a lot of people who are much better than me. They would have probably done this in mirror way or something, so that whatever I do on the left side will also be on the right side. I've seen people do it. I just don't understand how on earth I would do that. But hey, I will figure it out. I'm new to everything, but I'm learning, and I'm never afraid to learn. Oh, you're making it way darker. Well, what I'm making is Greek mythology based, so everything that will come after this will be have a lot of more options to become dark. I have foreseen in my head at least about 10 levels with different gods that will also have different looks and feels. So think of the god Dionysus, then you will have more like the wine and the parties. But think of a god of like Aries, you have the god of war, so then you will have wars and um, groups of soldiers that will attack you and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm expecting also to have enemies like the centaur, like the minotaur, stuff like that. So um, there's going to be some darkness for sure, but also a lot of lightheartedness. It should be fun also to play this game. It should not just be dark and deep and everything is bad and you know what. Just yeah, it's about my daughter, so I should be able to proudly show it to her when she's a little older, without running away scared. So yeah, there's also that, of course. Really not doing much. I'm just talking, which is also nice, by the way. I'm having a lot of fun doing that. And I'm glad people are watching. Like I said before in one of my streams, it feels so much nicer when there's people watching. Also gives you a little push because you basically have to. Um, if there's nobody watching, hey, why would I do anything? I mean, I can choose what I do. It is fine because nobody's going to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. See, I'm gonna start here. That's it. Bit too much. Sorry. Um, should not be that big. Mm, hmm. Counting pixels sometimes is the hardest part of all of it. 19, 20, 20. There's so much counting to be done. 7, 3, basically the more or less than 45. Yeah, that's the middle. Middle here. I want to have another pixel also. Political dystopian fantasy based off multiple things, but mainly Salem with trials. Next year, in a where witch hunts never ended, magic is found to exist, and public executions are common. Huge metaphor for world leaders and many other world issues. Well, we can shake our hands then, because yeah, like I said, my game is also a little bit about world leaders and how they make a mess of the world. And metaphorically, it will be the gods who do that in this game. So yeah, we pretty similar concepts, I guess. Um, just set in a different world and set in with different characters, most likely. But yeah, that's very cool. I like it, Mitari. I really am interested. You have to tell me about that game for sure. And I would love to follow you maybe on Twitter. I don't know where you are to be followed, and yeah, see what you're making. I'm a huge fan of also helping other indie developers get known and get their audience. I think it's very important. We should help each other. That's the good thing about the community for indie developers. So, but yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm a perfectionist, and that is not very. You're mostly Instagram. I'm mostly Twitter because I'm not the biggest fan of Instagram for this, and I've found that the indie dev community on Twitter is pretty good. The rest of Twitter I find toxic, so I don't do anything with that. I just want to talk about my game development and about yeah other people who are doing game development or streaming about playing games or whatever, but at least game related and game development related. And I see there's a lot of support for them on Twitter. People are helping each other, giving each other tips and everything. So yeah, that is always nice. Um, I wish there was not so much counting involved. It takes forever for me to do this. This sucks. When I scroll out, I always go wrong. Okay, 37 was. 5. I hope I got correct here because I have no clue. 1, 2. So that one should be connected to this one. Make it double for looking a little bit more like solid metal. In case you're wondering, this is like the cast iron that you see in those bridges. At least that's what it's supposed to look like. And I see already for some reason it's not in sync as I would think it would be, but whatever. Let's first do it and then figure out if it's correct. Should go here. Sure, I like this. No, it's too angled. I think I'm gonna go here. Better. Better. Are you also on Discord maybe, Mike Tari? It's also something I use regularly, and could even invite you then to the page that I have there for doing the development of this game, um, which I'm trying to be active on, but I'm not so active at the moment because there's nobody else there. But I'm trying to post there too. I'm gonna make it somewhere like halfway here. No, it's too straight. I don't want it straight. Better. That looks horrible. Maybe I should just make it straight anyway. Trying to convince myself that I like stuff, but I'm not convinced yet. I think I don't like the left side. I'm gonna have to erase this a little bit. See how I do it better, because I don't yet know. It's a little hard sometimes. Probably I'm not the only one who struggles sometimes with doing some of the pixel art. It's it's nice to do it, but it's not easy. And especially somehow it looks very weird when it's um, this part is becoming more straight, of course, than this because it's tilted, and for me it looks weird. I oh no, don't worry, don't worry. What I was asking if you maybe are also on Discord or whatever. I am on Discord also. We could connect there. It's uh yeah, there's several ways, of course, to connect to each other. So um, whichever way is easier for you is fine with me. Of course, you can also follow me. At least then you know when I will be streaming. Um, but yeah, so you have the same name on Discord. Then I will just hey and welcome as a follower. Thank you for that. That makes my goal just be achieved. I didn't know that. Thank you. You know, that's my first goal, of course. I have to set new goals after this, but um, yeah, I wanted to have some goal at least to get people to follow that goal. And it seems I just achieved my first goal. Your name is the same on Discord as it is here, because then I just look you up and add you there as a friend. Mhm. 2836. Okie dokie. 2836. I just sent you a friendship request, so you should be seeing that soon. So yeah, what I was saying here, at least at this moment, is that I find it a little weird looking if I go from here somewhere here that the line is obviously different than it is from going here to this because we're tilted. So here it looks like very angled, which looks pretty okay to me. Um, and then right here, it looks almost straight, which to me is super weird. Um, and it doesn't even matter if I go here or yeah, here it looks even worse because then you have a straight line going there. Although it is more, I think, in balance with the other side. Hmm. That is those things that rack my brain sometimes. I want it to look good and I'm doing my best to do that. But then when you do that, you sometimes get something that you were not expecting and that is tough. I think I'm going to make something like that. At least it doesn't look completely straight. I want to make one more round, probably. Yeah, when I zoom out, it looks much better, but still not exactly what I would like it to look like. It's um, it's gonna be a work in progress. Like I said, I need the details to come later, I guess. Yeah, that should be more like that. Better. It's too big. At least I think it is. This is where I go doubt myself always. This kind of stuff makes me doubt everything I'm doing. Like, does it look good? I don't know. Um, I'm hoping it does, but I'm not so convinced yet. I guess I will have to revisit this a few times. I think I will have to put that one not on that side. No, that one. Hmm. It's okay-ish, but that's about as far as I can go with this. It's not better than okay-ish. Anyway, let's also put some shadow here because it shouldn't be just the dark color. Although I should here. Sounds maybe stupid to call it a shadow because it's lighter, but make it look a little bit more alive than just flat. Yeah, this is, I don't know about other programmers, but for a programmer like me, doing pixel art is, I find it soothing. I really like doing it, but I'm so terrible at it. At least I find myself terrible at it, and I feel that everything takes forever. Well, somebody who's an actual pixel artist would do this in seconds and have it look better too. It's it's probably my self doubt that is talking here, but it is what it is. I have self doubt. I'm a normal person. I have those moments. I don't always feel confident that I'm doing the greatest thing. So I don't think I will ever have it either. So I don't feel bad about it either. It's part of who I am. So yeah, that's correct. Now on the bridge left, I need chains also to come from here, basically there, and one from a little higher coming from there to this thing. Oh, at least I think I will want to have a chain like that. I'm going to just do it and see what it looks like. That is something that I did learn, by the way. Just do it, and just like Nike says, no, just do it and don't think about if it's perfect or not, and just try and figure it out. Nobody does it perfect the first time, and if they do, well, they're some sort of miracle kid. It's fine. Also, you don't. I don't have to um, fight with miracle kids. Zooming in and out should be. But zooming in and out for me is also not the easiest. I always do it wrong somehow. I also think that that railing will become lighter in the end. At the moment, it's okay. I'm just not happy about the color. Well, thank you, Half. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah, I'm doing my best, and yes, I have self doubt. I think that's part of who I am. Um, I don't think it will become much less. Um, I also think that my bridge might be a bit too high. Not sure yet. I might put this all down a little, like a few pixels down, like 2 blocks or something, so it's a little less tall. But also, that we'll just have to see if it works. I guess I will start to doubt myself less if I actually see that I make what I wanted to make. Um, yeah, I'm just a regular guy drawing things and learning on the go. So the correct placing was not, should have gone, should go here. It should have gone there. It's wrong again. Top one and the other one should be the bottom one. Zooming in and out for me is sometimes also not like it's confusing, but it's not as easy as it should be, in my opinion. Sometimes completely lose the way. And I'm sure also that can be done easier. But yeah. if everything was easy, I would never learn a thing, so it's fine. So this is the first two chains also there. I think that looks okay. And one should come from here to the bottom here, but that's a moving part, so I should put it in a moving part layer. I see that my Mitari is contacting me at the moment on Discord. I'll say hi tomorrow, I guess. Now I'm streaming, so I don't have much time to do it. But yeah, it's nice to have contact with you. These chains are maybe not so important, but for me, it feels like the details that you need. It's like the devil's in the details, I always say. Um, that is also going to go for this. So this also shouldn't be straight the moment it is. So this is going to be something I need to fix also, but later, later. And first, let's make the details look like I want them to look. See, so put it here. And then to connect to this part of the bridge, basically, let's put it on the first, not the second, but the third. And then to go back. Right there. So this is basically the chain that will actually be pulling up the entire bridge. And I want one here somewhere, but it should be a little curved, and that one is going to be the one that I do latest, because that for me is tough. I really don't know yet how I will do um, that curve in a convincing way, because I don't want it to be like a full circle or something. Um, I used to like doing this in Photoshop. You just make a selection of a circle and then draw on the outside. And because you're drawing on the outside, you're basically sure that you're never gonna draw it wrong. And in this case, I do not want to create a huge circle that I have to erase the rest. I just wanted to make, how do I say that? I want to make this a little curved, not much, just a little. But it should end up here basically next to this one. So it should go from above, like here, plus it's on the outside part. It should go all the way to this part here. But with just a slight, tiny little curve. And that for me is something. I'm sure there's easy ways to do that in pixel art, but for me, I have no clue yet how. So I'm going to leave that for a little later. Sorry, it's like cheating, but I'll do it anyway. And I think I need some more detailing here, which I might also do later. I'm not going to stream for hours today. I think I might cut it about after an hour, just to at least have done something, because otherwise I feel like things are standing still. And that is something I don't want. I don't want it to stand still. I want things to happen. And for things to happen, you need to do stuff, right? So, uh, some color here, because this is very light and too bright, basically. And this has a lot of depth, but then here we kind of lose it. Not sure if I should keep that depth or should maybe take it out. Because if I create depth in this, then I need to create depth here and basically everywhere. Hmm. That is something I'm doubting again. Hmm. I might go back to just having that circle open. so that it doesn't feel so much like 3D. I don't want it to look like 3D because it basically is not. It's a 2D game. You will see everything from the front, but there is always a little bit, it has to have a sense of depth because also you're going to have parallaxing backgrounds. I've already set that up. I know how to get that working. That's not an issue, but how am I going to do that with this? Because basically water is going to flow underneath this. I have already um, prototyped for making a water reflection effect in Unity. That is already done. But I also still struggle in my head with the idea of how am I going to do that? The water is not just reflecting here, but it should be also under the bridge and going to the back here because there's water flowing. This is a canal. There's going to be boats. There should be water, not just here in front. There should be water all the way until, well, basically at least here, and then you might have another scenery in the back. So that for me are still those kind of things that I wonder about, struggle with, and do not know yet how am I going to do that. But um, yeah, there's that. um, I am liking the look of the bridge, even though it's totally not what I can make of it. I still think it needs to be much, 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 much better. This needs also 10 tons of details, like I did in the bakery, which I'm gonna maybe look on next. So I put some stones in here, so it actually looks like brick wall, because this is a brick wall basically. Might have to change the coloring of it to fit better with that. And of course, it's Amsterdam, so if this is a clean brick wall, that's not correct. It will never be clean. Um, there should be stains on it, moss or whatever. Um, but it's definitely not going to be a clean looking wall. That would not fit. So yeah, I'm wondering at the moment, considering the time, if I want to continue, just call it a day. I think I'm gonna do like 15, maybe more minutes, and then call it a day. Um, maybe start with the detailing in the wall. That probably is the best idea. Oh, is this a nice color for my brick? Would I check my bakery? I think these bricks look much nicer. Can I do that color? Okay, got that color. Let's save it. Better. Slider. Somehow I like that, I think. Let me see it again. Feels more like bricks does. So let's also take some of the highlighting colors that I have here. Okay, I already have that, so that's good. Let's, I'll make a brick pattern and I'll start with that. Yeah. Here we go again, counting. Oh, we should have 10 and then, there you go. Let's hope it will look nice after that. 4, 6, 8, 10. There you go. And there we go again. Draw a straight line. I hear it say a lot of people that they have social anxiety, and that's why they go for things with lighter amount of people. Um, I don't know if that should matter because I think from what I've seen so far on Twitch, most people that you look at are pretty nice. They're very happy to have you, of course, as a viewer. Because let's face it, everybody needs viewers. If you don't have viewers, you will not get anywhere. Um, so I think that most people will just welcome you with open arms and be very nice to you. But can be more. Maybe I just misunderstand it. But I think it guess it's more like that you feel awkward to talk. Uh, maybe it's more that. At least I hope that everybody feels very happy to talk on my stream. I'm trying to make this very um, low key, so shouldn't have to be afraid to talk to me. I'm a nice guy, at least from what I've been told. I'm a very friendly guy, so let's hope that I come across like that. Um, and the moment I'm wondering if I make this too high, let me check on my bakery tiles again because they were nice. Actually made them just as high, so this should be good. Should be good. Looks pretty decent, at least there. So maybe maybe bricks in a wall like this are smaller. Don't know. Just gonna use that line there for reference for the first brick, and basically they're gonna be a bit bigger after that. When I did the last bricks, I basically did a lot of copy pasting, to be honest. So hey, nice that you're here. So good to see you. Glad you could make it. Um, in case you just came in, which you probably did, and you're looking at this and thinking, what the heck am I looking at? I'll zoom out a little bit. I'm working on the drawbridge for the first level. Not entirely satisfied yet with the look of it, but I think it's going to be something that I work on and fix later on. I'm very happy to see you. I always like to have people that I already met on Twitch or Twitter or other locations, and they start looking at my stream, so I don't feel so lonely because there's nothing nicer than people watching. I mean, that makes you even get more purpose to do this. And I'm again gonna do what I said that I did last time. Why would I figure out how big that line should be and how far away it should go if I can just copy paste it and put it in the correct spot? I mean, I'm a lazy programmer, and programmers are used to not do anything beyond what they need to do. So yeah, just copy and paste that stuff and then figure out where the next line should go. So there you go. This is going to go here, here. Some people would say that if they could automate this, they would do that and I probably would too. Although, like I said before in one of my other streams also, and today I guess also I said it, it's very soothing to make this pixel art. So why would I automate it? Much nicer to do it yourself. So gives me a very relaxed vibe. And my last stream that I did was pretty personal. I talked a lot about my personal things that happened to me in the past and how I was with my health and everything. Um, Obviously, I have no clue if people like that. Yeah, it's based on Magere Brug, to be honest. By the way, so yeah, for people who know these kind of bridges, then it's probably a little easier to recognize. Um, I'm also not, I think, working in a tile set kind of way. I mean, yeah, probably I should want to, but I don't think I will use my game in a tile set kind of way. Some things might come back, but most of it will, at least in this first level, will be very detailed and non-repeating. Yeah, that is true. Have I mean, I've been following a few people on Twitter that say that they were gonna go live with their stream. From that, I basically started to look at their streams, and some of them actually now come and watch me, which I like. It's very nice. Um, Obviously, they have much higher followers than I do. Um, I'm just starting, and I don't care. I mean, it's not that I expect people to suddenly, out of nowhere, follow me, all of them at the same time. That will not happen. That is not realistic, also, to expect that. So, yeah, I'll just do what I do and see if people will want to follow that. And yeah, if it becomes more successful and people want to see me stream more, then yeah, of course, I will need better equipment. I will need a better microphone so that I don't breathe into my microphone. Thanks for the tip again. Unexpected game dev. Um, but yeah, and until it's starting to make me money for it, I guess. Um, yeah, I'm not ready to invest yet. This is something I do also as, like they say in the Netherlands, as a stick behind the door, um, to make sure that I keep doing this. Um, and it's fun because if you're making it and talking about it at the same time, it makes sure that people um, know what your game is going to be about. But not just that, it makes sure that you know what your game is going to be about, and that is what I like. It's it's basically making me explain what I'm trying to do, and explaining what you're trying to do makes for I think a better game. So there's not much as important as knowing what you're trying to do. Was selected. That doesn't work. Some highlighting of the stones make it always a bit more interesting to look at, especially when you zoom out. So, and I'm probably also not doing that the correct way yet, but at least it creates a better effect than without it. And it's funny, I'm following a couple of streamers on Twitch also, and I don't see a lot of people actually streaming on Sunday. Of course, everybody's entitled to have their resting days, so maybe they just see it as a day job and do it Monday to Friday. For me, I have to do it in my free time, so for me, it's not the day job. The day job is me programming or at least doing technical descriptions of projects. So this for me is what I do next to it. So for me, evenings, weekends, those are the moments that I can do this. So yeah, that's basically how that thing goes. You have to find your moments to do this, and those are most of the time not the same as for other people. Oh, almost forgot the bottom row here. Basically, you should see that this ends up at the water. So this will be the end of the brick line. And those struggles that I told you about before, like how am I gonna make this look nice when the water has to go underneath? I'll figure it out as I go. That is that is for later concerns. So yeah, we're starting to get somewhere, right? Maybe those tiles are way too big. I'm gonna have to see. I don't know. Part of it looks like it's too big. Maybe that's because this is a wall actually of might have to look a little bit more at reference images also. I've looked at the Magere Brug a few times, so I know it, but not by heart. And most of the photos that I've seen of it are from pretty far. So might have to go one day actually to Amsterdam and make pictures myself. I've also actually seen a building that I want to use for this game that is actually not at all in Amsterdam at all. It's in Zaltbommel, which is near to where I live. And they have a building with, on top of the building, it says Vleeshhouwerij, which basically is the old way of saying butcher. And I love that. So I think I'm going to take a picture of that one of these days and try to recreate that in pixel art as well. Um, I think that's going to be mighty cool because that really gets the feeling of these old houses that you would see typically in Amsterdam. Amsterdam is famous for those different types of houses, different tops, different looks, colors, everything. I want to recreate that feeling. And like I said, yeah, one of my um, ideas is also to put the Rijksmuseum in there. And you don't want to believe how hard it is to find a picture of the entire um, Rijksmuseum. The the funny thing is that the most famous view of Rijksmuseum is not the front side, it's the back side. Because everybody is always at the back side, not in the front. And at the back side, there's so much going on that you cannot really see the entire building. And that is going to be an issue because I need to know the entire building and then I can put detailing in front of it like trees and little other things. But I need to have the building first. Uh, but yeah, project that is next to come, I guess. Doesn't have to be pixel perfect, most likely, but at least better than half. Has to be the entire building. Anyway, should I start trying to make that a slightly curved chain? Might have to, because this is about the moment where I need it. It's part of the moving. Should maybe I can use this tool for that. It is a curve tool, but this is a line tool and this is the curve tool. Should be a curve then. I usually am pretty confused about those things. So it should come from around here. This one. And then go down all the way. Why do I have to pull it down further than I think? It is not curving. Oh, does it? Ah, so that is how that curve works. Okay. Well, I can use that, sort of. But it doesn't feel like a curve. But how am I going to get it to curve the way I want it to? This is where I want it to go, but it's not curving. Okay, that is not the way to go about this. Hey, Letterborn, also here. Nice. We're starting to get a nice viewer base here. This is cool. How am I going to get that curve to go the way I want it to? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Let's start here, and then how do you get that curve to go the way you want? Because it doesn't start curving until I click, so doesn't mean that I have to. Oh, that is it. We'll have to erase a little bit, but that is curved. Okay, I almost got it. Almost had it that time. So let me see. So if I do it like that, for example, and then start my curve will be a bit bigger. Right? And then for the second line, I will just trace the inside of the first line. That's fine. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to have to erase a lot of shit that I don't want. Oh, Sage Math. I've heard about that. I think I've tried it a few times. Well, I'm personally not a big fan of Python, but I know I sometimes have to use it because Python is basically for machine learning, very much used, and that's also something that I sometimes could have to use in my work. So sometimes I have to know about those things, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But I guess I don't have to be, right? Not everybody likes the same things. Okay, so now that I have this, I can start to erase the rest because that doesn't belong, and this also doesn't. Again, this can probably be done much easier, but who cares? As long as I do it right. Probably should take a bigger brush, but I wasn't afraid that then I suddenly erase something I don't want to erase. You know, I'm crazy like that. There we go. Almost, almost. And it doesn't matter if it takes a little bit of time. Rome was also not built in one day, right? This should probably be like that. There we go. Let me look. That does look like the chain I was going for. A little curve, not too much, just a little so you know that's more dynamic. That is what I wanted. Yes. Okay, so now I have to double that to make it better. Okie dokie. And doubling that is also not going to be that easy. It's a lot of work. Because I cannot use the same tool again. At least it's not difficult. Just takes time. Oh, no, no. So I kind of like it. I will have to put somewhere in my profile that I've been compared to Bob Ross, but I've also been compared to Gandalf. I mean, who can say that? Who can say that? Really, it's cool. Sorry, still the cough that I have. Oh, come on. The scroll wheel and me are gonna get a fight one day. Yeah, right. That's epic. F half called me Gandalf. He said I had also the same kind of feeling as the voice of Gandalf. Right. So I'm a wizard. So I already told him the wizard is never late, nor is he early. Always arrives exactly when he means to. So, yep, I can handle being a wizard. Funniest thing, though, my email address that I've been using for years, never changed it after going to school, is wizard HTML. That's a little known fact about me. And I always say, don't blame me. I was young when I made that email address, but when I was a kid, basically still in school, they didn't teach me HTML in school, which I thought was stupid because the internet was the future. They did teach me Pascal programming, NCC, and whatever like that, but nothing about the internet. I thought that was the stupidest thing in the world. So I taught myself HTML, and I got to a level that I could dream in HTML. I could just write HTML without thinking, without consulting anything. So that's when I considered my email address should become Wizard HTML. So yeah, that made it even more funny to be called Gandalf. Kind of happy I was not being called Saruman. I don't think I'm a bad guy, so almost there, almost there. There we go. We got our curved chain hanging there. Part of me still thinks that the railing parts have to go down. And assembly is also fun, yeah. I didn't get taught assembly. I can read it, but I've never been taught. I also uh, got machine PLC programming when I was in school. That was also fun. Can make robot arms move and stuff like that on Siemens PLC. That's ages ago. I don't think a lot of people who would watch me would still remember that stuff, but it was cool to do. Don't see the point why I ever got it though. I wonder if I can figure out how to mirror this part and do it on the other side so I don't have to basically draw the same twice because that is not something I'm gonna want to do. I do want to go with the chains a little lower though. I think I need to do that now. So it's hard to see. Yeah, that's better. Can see that in my preview window. It looks much better this way. Yeah, I'm happy. Sleep hasn't been the same. Oh, that's funny. Hello World. I think I've done in Pascal, NCC, Borland, Delphi. I've done it in C Sharp, C++, Java. I don't know, many languages basically. Um, I've seen even Fortran and COBOL. I've worked on that as well. Can't for the life of me remember how it went, but I'm sure if I opened a book or saw some Fortran code again, that I would probably be able to still code it. It's um, it's something you don't really forget. It's like riding a bike. Once you do it, you don't forget. In Leuven, that I haven't seen before. I will have to look that up. I cannot stand not knowing something, so I have not heard of that before. I'm gonna want to know that. Free 2D game engine. Oh, I didn't know that one. It's written in C++ and using Lua. Oh, I know Lua. I've done some Lua, but I really, really prefer to do it in C Sharp. Um, I would even go C++ before I go to stuff like Lua. It's not that I can't. And I also know a little bit about Godot script, the GD script. I could also write that, but it's so much easier for me to do it in C Sharp, and C++ is a close number two. Uh, Years and years ago, I started writing my own 3D game engine in C++. I had um, megabytes and megabytes of code, and then my PC crashed, and I never wanted to try again. So yeah, I know C++, but I don't use it anymore. It's not my day job. My day job as C sharp as the coding languages. So yeah, it's not that I can't do it anymore. I just know more C sharp than I know C++, and also made me realize when I saw a lot of tutorials in the beginning of Unity that a lot of developers in Unity do not really care about the coding principles that I've learned as a developer, basically. And I get it. Also, it's a lot of work to adhere to all your coding principles, and sometimes you just want to get your prototype out fast. So then you don't think about those things. Uh, so for me, it's funny to see bigger game developers, they stream their development, and then you suddenly see them use public variables for everything. But for me, I use public variables as little as I possibly can. So um, yeah, then you see that and you're like, why are they doing it like that? And yeah, just because you can see it in the Unity editor. Yeah, but you can also do that with a serialized field, and then you don't need to make it public. That's my mind going like, are they not doing it properly? It's what you learn that infects your brain basically. And the question I have to ask myself with basically everything that I code now in Unity is: should I really adhere to all those coding principles? Is it actually better? Is it faster for the end result? Sometimes it also has a performance cost to write clean code. So I'm not so sure yet. It reminds me of that story where I wrote a long story. My laptop broke. I lost everything. I didn't write it again. For that time, I wrote all of those songs, accidentally deleted them, and then never rewrote them. Oh, yeah. Losing data is something that is well known to us all, I think. Um, I really hope I never lose the script that I'm writing about my mom, but I don't think I will because I have that already saved up in the cloud, so that should never go anywhere unless the cloud breaks. Let's hope not. Then we have a bigger problem. Then I lose my job because that's all my work. Basically, everything is in the cloud. And yeah, so now that I've gotten it a little bit further, I'm kind of happy with the result of the left part of the bridge. Not 100% sure of this part yet. Should I or should I not put this in? Because water is gonna flow through these holes, of course. But I'm looking at it from the front. If I'm looking at it from the front, will I see it like that? Huh. Questions you have to ask yourself. I think I would. Okay, so hold left mouse button until you reach the point where you want to go. Because that's weird. Because you have to go way ahead of it, or you mean then your mouse has to be where you want to go, then let go, and then you start to curve. That how you mean it? Because it kind of makes sense. Because I was now going past that point. Okay. Yeah, I was dragging it, but then what you see is basically your mouse pointer goes far beyond the line that I actually want to get to in the end, and the actual line is halfway of the screen. It's not fully there yet. That was it didn't compute in my brain. So the last time I did this, I just went more to the left, then let go. Yeah, I was holding it. I was holding it. Maybe I did it wrong. I'm gonna learn this. One of these days, I will figure it out. It's yeah. Anyway, I got a curved line. I got what I wanted. I'm happy. Maybe it should curve more. I don't know. I might change it later. Uh, but so far, it's okay-ish, and I can handle okay-ish. Even though I'm a perfectionist and I will not rest until I have it the way I really want it. For now, it's okay, and I can deal with this. I'm also thinking now that I've been a bit further along this process, that I need to create a shadow here under this part, which I will do now. Add some shadows now, so let's use this shadow color here and then create it here. It doesn't have to be much, just to make it look a little more, or I should say a little less clean. If it is too clean, it doesn't look nice, it doesn't look vibrant. And it will have to be also in the move part of the bridge as well. So now I can turn on the moving part again and do the same there. And I don't think it works the way I want to in Unity. I already tried importing it, and I don't see that the layers are being separate parts. So I might have to break this up into separate PNGs or sprites that I can actually start using in Unity. Because otherwise I still cannot do what I want, and the, the parts of the bridge separately. Because it will not be a static thing. This thing will actually move. That's why I created separate layers, so the moving parts will move, while the rest, of course, will not. Let me see. Looks already better. Looks already better. And what I said also already here, I'm doubting if maybe the rail has to go down a bit. I think it's too high at the moment. Now it's basically covering my entire character. I don't think that's needed. So I think I will have to go down with that. And yeah, oop, I need to do that now. It's silly how that works in my brain, but I have to do it now. I guess this works. To have it exactly on those lines. Because that way, yeah, that way it's better. Now how am I going to select this without having those chains there? I don't want to move the chain. Oh well. That's going to be a lot of counting again, I guess. So, no, not that one. I don't want to have that chain moving. This is going to suck because I'm going to be moving the chain if I do this. Okay, I'm not going to do it like that then. Just redraw the lines, I guess. Yeah, it looks much better this low. Yeah, much, much better. I prefer this a lot. Just have to see how to draw the lines that they stay in line with the other ones. Because that's the hardest part here. I wish I could just say I can move it, but I can't. Does start at the same line, so that should be okay. So we'll start here. I want to do it easy. I probably just copy from here, like how it's going here. Okay. Normally I would expect that to be 2 pixels there, but it isn't. So then we're gonna go like that. Yes, yes. Oh, that's always hard. The lines with the lines here. I have to really check well where the new one starts. Okay, it starts right on that line. Oh, come after here and go until here. I think so. Yep, that's correct. So that connects to this one. That should be a straight line. Right. Then this one also, but That is also, I think it was wrong in the first place. They should never be different than the one below it. This should also go like this. And then here. Let me erase the other one. It's a little confusing right now. That one totally doesn't match up with the other one below it. Righty ho, here we go. That exactly ends there. My eye is itching. That's not nice. Whoa, I've got 5 viewers at the same time, guys. Whoever joined, hello. Oh, there we go, down to 3. Should not have said anything. That's always the same. Never say that you're getting more viewers. You should not say it. I jinxed it. Damn it. Totally jinxed that. Here I was saying that I wouldn't stream so much longer. I've basically been continuing, which is fine. I like it. As long as I can manage, I will do it. More I have to go to the office, so I don't want to stream way too late, because then I will feel the consequences. Don't you just love it when the colors are not so obviously different? It's really hard to see the difference sometimes between these colors. But yeah, the devils are in the details. I keep saying that. So without these details of correct colors and stuff like that, then you will see it later and it will not look nice. Even slight color difference is important. So there we go. That part of the bridge is gone. Well, I am I'm still only with 20 followers so far, which is also I'm happy. I gained my first goal of having 20 followers today, so thank you guys for that. Um, but yeah, anyone who's viewing is always. I'm very happy that people are viewing, and especially when you guys are commenting. I also feel like I'm not doing this alone. You guys are with me, and that makes it that much nicer to do. So yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. Even though plenty to learn still. That's also why I like it, because sometimes you people in the chat have more idea of how to do stuff than I do. So it's a place for me to learn, and it's a place for me to enjoy doing what I like doing. So should flatten this off first to see where I go with this. So three. basically here until here. And this one, I basically drew a line, a straight line from the program, and I never counted that. And that may be great, but I feel like I am not in control of the line. So, knowing myself, I might go back to these lines and redo them and count them one day. You were convinced I had more followers? Well, maybe one day I will. I just started. This is my fourth stream ever, so I'm hoping that people like what they see, maybe tell their friends, and who knows, maybe one day when I am streaming there will be 25 people watching at the same time. Who knows? It's a dream, you know. One can have a dream, and until that time, I'm gonna make some happy little pixel art and hope people will like it. And this is always tough. Where does the line continue? Now I could be drawing that, and then I guess I will actually do that because why on earth would I not? I can just erase it later. And this way I have my lines exactly like I have them below, which makes calculating where the next line is going to come a ton easier. So now all I have to do is erase this shit and go. And what do you know? Perfect straight line. Yeah, yeah. It was. I never did pixel art in my life, basically. So it's something new to me. But doing it is really soothing. It's really nice. And yes, I like getting people to follow and talk and um, yeah. I have quite a few followers right now on Twitter. I am almost going to 700 at the moment. But of course, that doesn't mean they want to see me create anything. Um, it seems to me that most of them like what I do. A lot of them are very supportive and telling me that they like um, what I have shown them, at least on Twitter. But yeah, it's one thing liking someone on Twitter. It's another thing dedicating your time to going to their streams. And I'm not upset about it either. I mean, who cares? I mean, you do what you want to do, right? If you want to watch my stream, watch my stream. If you don't have the time, it's also fine. You want to watch something much nicer than me, also fine. I mean, I know sometimes I would like maybe to look at something nicer than me. It's all good. It's all good. I won't blame anyone if they, for example, want to spend their Sunday different than watching me creating pixel art. No, that's correct. It's super hard to see, but I guess it is. Some of these things are guessing games. So here we go again. Erase the rest. Oh, that was not the idea. Not erase. Take that color. Just do like that. The thing is, in the beginning, I never expected anybody to want to watch me at all. You know, it's why would anybody want to watch me? Oh yeah, yeah. I was talking about Twitch. That's for sure. Letter one. Uh, Twitch I just started, of course, so it's new, and if people are starting to follow, it's good. And I've had quite a few people now watching, and that's something that I like. It's new. Why I don't drag a line? Yeah, that's a good question. Also, have why would people not want to watch me? I mean, I'm very soft talking, and I'm like Gandalf and like Bob Ross. So, hey, what's not to like, right? I draw some happy little drawbridges, happy little bakeries, and later on I will also do some Unity and programming actually. So then I will write some happy little variables. Yeah, happy little Unity, happy little variables, happy little functions. Well, thank you. That is very nice to hear. Yeah, I've been even looking into the possibilities of streaming reading books to people, which is something that, for example, Unexpected Game Dev said that would be very nice. Um, I'm not sure if that's allowed. I don't know if that's copyright infringement, and that would be cool though. I love reading. Reading is one of my biggest hobbies, and if I can make other people happy just by reading a book, and then make that a returning thing, like not every day, but maybe once a week, dedicate an hour of reading a book, and then make sure that you finish books. That would be also a reason for people to come back, right? You want to finish the book. It's not like having an audio book, but basically in episodes you listen to a book. Uh, yeah, well, yeah. A straight line tool is basically it is probably easier than what I do now, but in the end, it comes to the same kind of thing, right? I do one point, then I click, I hold Shift, and then drag my mouse to the other side, and when I click there, then I draw a straight line. Um, but yeah, there's a straight line tool for it too. I guess that might be more suited than what I do now. First, I didn't even know how to do the connecting things. Um, yeah, Khan Academy Math. Yeah, that give well, anything works, right? Yeah, that's me too. If I could read a book to people, and because it's not really saved on Twitch, Twitch just holds it usually for for a short time, and then it goes. That should, yeah. I wasn't sure, and I've been asking about it, and I don't think I can just read any book on Twitch. I think people will get copyright claims for that. I did see somebody who read Goosebumps, the books. Um, so I guess some people do it, but it's not very mainstream. It's not done a lot. So yeah, I would have the question. I would want to know for sure that I cannot get a copyright claim if I try to do that. Yeah, I mean that's not worth it at all. Um, and if not, maybe I should write my own books first and then try to read those over the internet. Nobody can copyright me for reading my own book, right? But yeah, then there's the matter who wants to hear that. If I mean, if I read people Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, I'm sure people want to hear that. On the other hand, if I write something myself, who would want to hear that? Nobody knows. So yeah. Uh, secretly, I've been almost streaming for 2 hours now, but I'm happy with the changes. Um, Especially the bridge now. The railing looks better. I'm happier with the whole layout of this lower railing is better now. Now you can see Gaia better, basically. So that is important. She should be um, in the end when she walks, and I can try to move her. Let me try that. when she walks, she should be behind this, behind that, but in front of the other. See, that's what I have in mind at least. So she walks behind this railing, behind this object, which probably will also become a little lower than it's now. She will walk behind this pillar, but in front of the other pillar because that's in the back, and behind the chains, but probably in front of this one. I'm not 100% sure because it comes from the behind one. Have to think about that. Might have to replace that to another layer, so it's behind her. Anyway, that's how I think about it while I'm drawing this, because the layering is important for getting this stuff right in the end. I think this is going to be the end of my stream, more or less, for today. I know I said that about an hour ago as well, that I would just do 15 minutes more. Um, but yeah, you guys hang in with me, so I'm super happy about that. Um, I don't know if there's anyone I could rate. I don't even know how I rate anyone. Never done that before. I know people do that. Sometimes they rate someone else, so they go uh, after their own stream. They rate somebody that they follow if they're online. I don't. I really, at the moment, I have no clue how to do that, so I cannot rate anyone else that I would recommend. But thank you for that comment. I like how it's starting to look. I'm not 100% sure that this is how it's going to have to be. Um, Probably the color of the railing will become a little lighter still, or some more detailing is going to come. I think there's going to be flowers hanging or something. Um, there's going to be more cracks in walls or dirt on the walls, and yeah, it will have to find its own style. Basically, that's what that's what I'm about. It's doesn't I don't want it to look like something somebody else would create. So slowly but surely, I'm getting to what I want to make of this drawbridge. And yeah, like I said before, I'm not 100% sure yet about this area. Seeing as it's front facing this game, I'm not 100% sure. I always think in perspective, and if it's in perspective, then this should have a wall here. But if it's front facing, would I see that wall? Would I not? It bothers me, that this is something that I could be awake for that for hours tonight, wondering if I should leave that in or not. I'm not sure. I might have to fill up the entire scene with water and other things in the background that I will not use here again because I will just make the drawbridge in this, but just to fill it up and see it. Yeah, I work with references too, but it's really hard to find a good reference front facing for a drawbridge, especially these. The ones that I find are, yeah, what can I say? Not clear or very very unsharp, so it's hard to make out the details that I want to see. When I did look at one of the photos, I did see a wall here, but yeah, it's a photograph of somebody who's not in the front exactly, and yeah, it's hard because I, like I said also before in this stream, I also have to figure out the way the water will flow. It's going to be, of course, not just in front here. This is where the here in the bottom is of course water, but also here is going to be water, and it might also go even up the way all the way here, because you will, if I look in perspective at least, my water goes all the way there. But that's hard also for my parallaxing, because how will it move, right? Um, I could make like 20 different layers, to 20 different background um, layers, and they would move separately. But then how do I keep the water together? So that is something that is still in my brain that I have to look at, think about, um, but I have no solution for yet. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that in a game. I've seen plenty of games with water reflections, but water reflections for them are usually just down, right? You don't have to go into the deep, but those areas in the deep need their reflection as well. Because if there's no reflection there, then the parts that are more far in the back would not reflect in the water anymore, and that doesn't look realistic. Um, so yeah, that's a lot of trial and error and a lot of figuring that out. I have no clue yet how to do it, but I will figure it out. That I promise you guys. So I'm gonna end my stream today. I want to thank you for watching. Let me save first because I know how that goes. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again one of these days. And yeah, I mean, if you know a lot of people that would like this, please don't hesitate to tell them about my stream. Um, I don't have a real schedule because I have two kids at home and a wife, but I always welcome new followers. So thank you very much for watching today, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you.